Muy buenas amigas, amigos y bienvenidos a otro capítulo más de Agatha Christie, Asesinato en el Orient Express. Vale, familia, si no me equivoco tenemos que seguir interrogando a más sospechosos, ¿vale? Así que nada, familia, vámonos. Vámonos directamente. A ver a quién más tenemos que... A ver, aquí está esta.
I hope your investigation is going well, Mr. Poirot.
Vale. Yo creo que deberíamos de ir para el bar o el restaurante, me imagino. Grado 202, esta era la nuestra. Sí, esa era la nuestra. Va. Pues nada, a ver qué nos encontramos por aquí.
I hope we will be leaving soon.
Me espero que partamos pronto. Vale. ¿Y esto?
I should go and interview the passengers in the restaurant car.
En el vagón restaurante. Vale, vámonos. Al vagón restaurante. No hay nadie.
The passengers who agreed to come and talk to you are assembled, Poirot. Mr. Masterman is already here to answer your questions.
Perfect, thank you, my friend. Sit down, Mr. Masterman, please.
Thank you.
Vale, los vamos a ir interrogando por lo que se ve, no uno a uno, ¿no?
Cassetti mean anything to you?
No, should it?
Have you heard of the Armstrong kidnapping case?
Of course. It was all over the news a few years ago.
Your employer's real name is Cassetti. He was the man behind that kidnapping.
Mr. Ratchet was... He murdered that poor little girl?
Mr. McQueen, the man you worked for is a kidnapper named Cassetti.
What? What kidnapping?
He murdered his victim, a child named Daisy Armstrong.
The Armstrong kidnapping?
You had no idea of Monsieur Ratchet's real name?
Damn skunk!
Why are you so upset?
My father was the district attorney who handled the case, Mr. Poirot. I saw Mrs. Armstrong more than once. She was a lovely woman, so gentle and heartbroken. If ever a man deserved what he got, Ratchet, or Cassetti, is the man. He didn't deserve to live.
Madame Olson, have you heard of the Daisy Armstrong case?
No, I've never heard of it.
It was only 2 years ago. It was famous.
Maybe so, but it was not famous in Spain, where I have been helping the refugees from Africa.
Anda.
You've never heard the name Daisy Armstrong?
No, never.
Daisy Armstrong? No.
No.
No! No!
Joder.
Yes. It was all over the English tabloids before I went to Jordan. A horrific crime that claimed the lives of an entire family and their wrongfully accused nanny. That's right, isn't it?
Quite so.
I thought the culprit had been punished.
Some might say that the culprit was punished last night.
Oh, my heavens.
May I ask you a few more questions?
Yes, of course.
Vale, vida en los Estados Unidos.
You read about the crime, as you said, in the tabloids.
Yes, that's right. For weeks, news of the royal family was eclipsed.
Have you ever been to the United States, mademoiselle?
No, never. Jordan was really my first trip abroad.
You were in Jordan?
Yes, I was an English tutor there to the children of a high official. Until recently.
Vale, vínculo con el capitán.
What is your relationship to Captain Arbuthnot?
Who?
A former soldier traveling with us. You must have met him.
Ah, yes, I met him on the platform in Istanbul. We only had a brief exchange of pleasantries, nothing more. British Reserve and all that.
Ah, the British Reserve. Yes, with this I am familiar.
Confrontación. Vale, ¿cuál de estas frases contiene mentira? Lo conocí en la estación de Estambul. Tuvimos una breve discusión, no suelo hablar con desconocidos, era tutora de inglés en Jordania.
That does not prove she's lying.
Vale, esa no, yo creo que es la primera.
Are you sure everything you have told me is accurate, Mademoiselle Debenham?
Of course.
Pendiente.
Mademoiselle, I know that you met Captain Arbuthnot at the Tocatlion Hotel.
You were spying on me.
I am very attentive to my surroundings. It helps in my profession.
Well, it's your word against mine.
I had occasion to be of some assistance in recovering Captain Arbuthnot's train ticket. While searching his room, I also discovered one of your earrings. Whatever your relationship may be to the good captain, I doubt it has anything to do with British Reserve. You will not tell me your secret, mademoiselle?
I can't. I don't know what you mean.
Poirot, Miss Debenham's got nothing to do with this business. Nothing. Do you hear?
¿Qué? ¿Qué pasa? Paso atrás, agacharse. Agacharse, ¿no?
Archie, stop.
Oh.
Captain, no! This behavior is unworthy of an officer and a gentleman.
Leave her alone. Have you no honor?
Archie, we should go.
Captain Arbuthnot, I am certain you are a brave soldier, but you are a poor actor. The truth is that...
¿Por qué ha pedido el control el capitán?
Your relationship with Miss Debenham is beyond doubt, Captain. Your reaction was apparently that of a man trying to protect the woman he loves. I might understand that if your relationship were some cleverly disguised secret, but it is not. You make puppy dog eyes at one another at every opportunity. You cannot hide your love. Everybody knows.
I advise you to stop with your accusations, Mr. Poirot. I'm going to escort Miss Debenham back to her compartment. Make of that what you will.
The captain and Mademoiselle Debenham are obviously adamant about not revealing their relationship, but this scene convinced me there is more that is not so obvious.
Y nos has hecho sospechar.
Everyone on edge. In my 25-year career, I have never seen such madness aboard the Orient Express.
I understand, my friend. The more we learn, the more perplexing this train ride becomes. But we have other clues to pursue.
What do you have in mind?
The broken watch on Monsieur Ratchet's wrist, for example, and the handkerchief found near the body. Who does that belong to?
This little drama we have just witnessed has not put you off the scent.
Far from it, my friend. Will you return to your watch over Mademoiselle Locke?
Yes, I will. Dr. Constantine can probably use a break.
Good.
Au revoir, Poirot.
Vale. El reloj detenido a la 1:15. Interroga a los sospechosos. Perfecto. Nuevo misterio descubierto. Hipótesis sobre el reloj. ¿De quién es el pañuelo? ¿De qué letra está bordada en el pañuelo? Una H, ¿no? Vale.
That's the right answer.
Dueño del pañuelo. A ver. Debería de ser de esta, ¿no? La de Debenham es la que está con con Archibald, pero yo creo que es de esta, de Hildergate Smith. A ver, seguro dato unido a quién podría pertenecer el pañuelo 7 personas por identificar. Que hay que identificar a 7. Vale, tenemos 6.
This is wrong.
A ver.
But I'm never far from the truth.
3 personas por identificar. Vale, ninguna de estas. O sea, sería... A ver.
Think, Poirot. That is not a good answer.
Vale. De Cyrus Hartman. Y de Debenham, no.
I must admit,
Pues entonces
I'm
tiene que
not
ser
correct
esta.
this time.
Héctor McQueen. Sí. Vale.
That was easy.
Vale, interrogo a las personas con nombres desconocidos. Vale, 2 pasajeros. He interrogado al doctor Constantin y a la condesa Adreni. Interrogar a quienes tengan una H inicial en su nombre o apellido. Monsieur Mori, Madame Hubbard, Monsieur McQueen, Monsieur Hartman y Fraulein Smith y el doctor Constantin. Vale. Entonces, primeramente, interrogar a estas 2 personas, que sería Constantin y Andreni, ¿no? Constantin y Andreni. Vale, Constantin es el doctor. Y Rudolf Andreni, habitación 205. Habitación 205, vale. Vamos a ir a ver dónde está este tío. Ya está, aquí no tenemos nada más, ¿no? A ver, nuevo nodo. Hipótesis sobre el reloj. Vale, lo de la hipótesis, es verdad. ¿Cuáles son las 3 hipótesis sobre el reloj de Ratchet? El reloj muestra la hora en que Ratchet fue encontrado muerto, el asesino manipuló el reloj muestra la hora a la que huyó el asesino, el reloj muestra la hora en que Ratchet se durmió, el reloj muestra la hora del asesinato, el reloj estaba desajustado antes del asesinato. No. A ver.
Think, Poirot. That is not a good answer. Let me consider all the possibilities.
Vale. El asesino manipuló. No. A ver. No, me cago. Ah, vale, este. Vale, coño.
Yes, there are only 3 possible hypotheses.
El reloj ha sido manipulado.
Has been tampered with, or it is out of adjustment, or it indicates the time of the murder. I shall explore these last 2 possibilities before reaching any conclusions. If the watch is out of adjustment, it may be broken. There may also be another reason related directly to Ratchet. Maybe the watch is set to another time zone.
Vale. ¿Qué más cositas tenemos? Comprueba las coartadas que faltan. De 6 pasajeros. Me faltan las coartadas de Monsué, Poscarelli, Hartman, la princesa Dragomirov, de Fraulein Smith y el conde y la condesa Andreni. Vale, esto lo vamos a ir haciendo sobre la marcha, ¿vale? Vamos a ir a lo que... información contradictoria. Si Ratchet murió a la 1:15, ¿qué información es contradictoria? Alguien se hizo pasar por Ratchet a las 12:37, el tren estuvo atascado por el alud desde las 12:30. Claro, alguien se hizo pasar, ¿no?
My little Grace.
Vale. Lo que no dice el reloj. Vale, el reloj indica que el asesinato tuvo lugar a la 1:15, mientras que el presunto asesino de Ratchet ya se encontraba en su habitación a las 12:37. El reloj no pudo indicar la hora del asesinato. Vale, eso ya lo tenemos descartado. Perfecto. Pues tenemos cositas que hacer, ¿vale? A ver. ¿Estaba averiado el reloj antes de que se rompiera el cristal? A ver, ¿qué detalle podría indicar que el reloj no estaba ya parado antes de que se rompiera el cristal?
I do not think
A ver.
that's the right answer.
Cuyons.
The watch was not defective because the
Aún se
second
mueve.
hand is still moving. My little gray cells.
Vale. Usos horarios. ¿En qué uso horario se encuentra Estambul?
No.
No.
Adequate.
Pues en la 2, vale. Ok. ¿En qué uso horario se encuentra actualmente el Orient Express?
Yes.
En la 1. Vale.
If this
Si esta teoría es correcta, el asesinato se produjo a las 12:15.
Place at 12:15 a.m.
Vale.
Interrogate all the passengers to see if any of them have an alibi for this hour.
Vale. Corrobora las coartadas. Vale. ¿Qué personas tienen coartadas que se solapan? A ver, esto lo haremos después, ¿vale? Vamos a ir a interrogar a toda la gente que tenemos. Tenemos bastantes cositas, ¿eh? Vale, en el 205, ¿no? A ver, vamos a ir... Perdón. Uy. Vale. Vamos a salir de aquí.
Monsieur Foscarelli, I would like to ask you a few questions, if you allow me.
Ah, Signore Poirot, is it? I was wondering when you'd get around to me. Unfortunately, you find me on a mission of mercy.
Hello, Monsieur Poirot. Sorry, we have a small problem. The orange juicer has broken down and I can't fix it. Mr. Foscarelli has kindly offered to help me.
It isn't a car engine, but I am doing my best.
Even with the two of us, we can't manage.
Let me guess. You call upon Poirot to help.
I'd be happy to answer your questions when
Me lo
we're
sabía.
finished.
Vale. A ver qué le pasa a esto, chicos. Hay que meter estas cosas aquí. Uf. Vale. Pues... no lo sé. A ver, 1, 2, 3. Claro. Uf. ¿Ves? Ahí debería de ir. ¿Y las otras que van cada una en una? ¿O qué? A ver. ¿No? ¿No va aquí? A ver. Vale.
Should work correctly
Ok.
now.
Ok. Perfecto. Perfecto, familia. Vale.
Bravo! I should stick to automobiles.
Well, now we can talk calmly. Monsieur Foscarelli, is it?
Antonio Foscarelli.
Antonio.
Delighted, Monsieur Poirot.
You have, of course, heard about Ratchet's murder last night.
Oh, naturally. It is all anyone is talking about.
Have you ever been to the United States?
Yes, it has been a primary market for our cars for the last 10 years.
You remember the Armstrong case?
Armstrong? The name, yes? It was a little girl. A baby, was it not?
Yes, a very tragic affair. Did you know that Cassetti, the kidnapper, was actually Ratchet?
Oh, no. Then he deserved to die. I mean, wouldn't you agree?
Can you tell me your movements on the night of the murder?
I went to bed right after dinner, but I slept very badly. My roommate, Mr. Masterman, had a toothache. Oh, he moaned all night. It woke me up several times.
Did you hear anything or notice anything unusual?
No, nothing that I can think of. I stayed in my bed all night.
Vale.
Well, thank you, Mr. Foscarelli.
I'm sorry I couldn't help more, signore. I remain at your disposal if you should need me.
Vale. Ay, perdón.
Thank you so much, Monsieur Poirot. I can put orange juice back on the menu.
Vale. Antes de meterme en habitaciones, vamos a hacer una cosa. Vamos a venir aquí. Pues me parece que el japonés está por aquí. El cocinero. Si no me equivoco. Y entonces ya... Vamos... Bueno, aquí está ella, ¿no? Ahora. Parece ser.
I'm sorry, sir, but I must concentrate on my baking.
Vale, esta se debe concentrar en sus postres. Vamos a venir aquí al almacén. Quiero ver si viese a alguien. Mira, aquí tenemos a este.
Sorry to bother you, Monsieur Mori. I have a question to ask you.
Please make it quick. I have a meal to prepare.
Vale, el pañuelo bordado.
This handkerchief embroidered with an H, is it yours?
No, I've never seen it before.
Vale. Mierda, mierda. ¡Jo!
This handkerchief embroidered...
Le he dado sin querer.
I've never...
Vale.
That is all I wanted to know.
I hope your investigation won't interfere with today's menu.
Vale, vale, tranquilo, tranquilo. Vale, aquí no tenemos a nadie más. Vámonos. A ver, habría que hacer entonces esto de aquí, ¿no? A ver, este estaba con este. Mr. Book estaba con Constantine. Señorita Debenham estaba con la señorita Olson y el capitán con McQueen. Vale, ok. Perfecto. Vale. Vale, hemos arreglado el exprimidor. Compruebo las coartadas. Vale, corroboro las coartadas conocidas. Todo esto lo tenemos. Con que debemos de seguir interrogando, familia, ¿vale? Ok. Vámonos. Vámonos barriendo para allí ya. Esta no podemos hablar. Con que vamos para adelante. Supongo que tendremos que ir a las habitaciones o lo que sea. Hey, ¿dónde voy yo? Vale, aquí en el bar tenemos a estos dos. Que estos dos ya están. Vale. Aquí tenemos a esta, a ver si podemos hablar con ella.
Enchanté, mademoiselle. You are Hildegard Schmidt?
I am, Herr Voll. And you, I know, are Herr Poirot.
Correct. May I ask you for a few minutes of your time to answer a few questions?
With pleasure, but first may I ask for your help?
Why does this not surprise me?
I don't know.
I am at your service, Fraulein.
My mistress, Princess Dragomirov, has asked me to open this traditional Matryoshka doll. There is a trinket inside she must retrieve.
Madame, in my experience, each Russian nesting doll simply pulls apart to reveal the next one inside.
Indeed. Yet try it for yourself.
La madre que los parió.
You are a gentleman.
La muñequita rusa. ¿Y esto qué? Vale. Vale. Vale, hay que ver. No, no. Onda. Vale. Otra más pequeñita. ¿Y esto? ¿Cómo dirían tres va? Oh. Hostia. Oh, qué pura chorra, tío. Qué chorra, macho.
The inscription reads, "To my dearest friend."
Ah, thank you very much. This doll reminds her of her
Qué
youth
chorra.
in Russia. It was very hard under the Soviet regime, but thanks to her strength of will, she rose to be the head of a museum of antiquities in St. Petersburg. Even though she now lives in Berlin, it is said that the Kremlin still fears her.
She must be a formidable woman indeed. You are her maid?
I am her companion. I help her in her daily tasks, and I keep her company.
Ah, forgive me. You will have heard of Ratchet's murder last night.
Yes, of course. Everyone is talking about it.
Can you tell me how you occupied your time last night?
Just after we left Istanbul, I had tea with my roommate, Fräulein Locke. I went to dinner with the princess, and when I returned to my compartment, Fräulein Locke was already asleep. A little later, Herr Michel, the conductor, came to get me because Madame la Princesse needed my help. Her back troubles her. I massaged her for about an hour.
Coño, una hora de masaje, qué bien.
I'm sorry, I do not, mein Herr.
Thank you for answering my questions, madam.
Vale. Entonces, yo creo que a una de ellas ya, ¿no? Interroga a los desconocidos. Ah, bueno, todavía no. Vale. Vale, vale. Vale, vale. Y de H tenemos a un pasajero, vale. Que es al japo. Al cocinero, ¿vale? Seguimos. Entonces, aquí hay que picar. A este.
Monsieur, I am Hércules.
I know who you are, Monsieur Poirot. What do you want?
Answers to a simple question or two.
All right, but quickly. My wife is quite ill. I would like to stay by her side.
I promise. First of all, I imagine you know about the murder.
Of course. The Countess is terribly distressed.
Your full name?
Rodolphe Adreny.
Your home is?
Budapest.
And how do you come to be aboard the Orient Express?
I am a Hungarian diplomat. My family has represented our homeland since the revolution from the Soviet Union in 1956. I was on my country's business in Istanbul. Business which I cannot discuss.
And your wife often accompanies you on your diplomatic missions?
Yes, and why not? Was there anything else you wanted to know?
Vale, nacionalidad húngara. Abogado, chofer, diplomático. Y este debe tener pues los 34, ¿no?
I'm right again.
Vale.
That happens. Can you tell me how you spent last night?
I was in our compartment with my wife. She went to bed early. I played a video game on my phone. Around 11 o'clock in the evening, my wife woke up and couldn't get back to sleep. She took a sleeping pill. As for me, I went to bed soon after that and slept straight through until morning.
Have you ever been to the United States?
I was posted to the Hungarian embassy in Washington for a year.
You knew, perhaps, the Armstrong family.
Armstrong? Armstrong. It is difficult to recall. One meets so many people.
La señora Andreni.
It was the kidnapping of a child, a very sad affair. The culprit was the man on this train who called himself Ratchet, the one who was murdered last night.
Indeed. It sounds like justice finally caught up with you.
Thank you for your time. Now, I'd like to speak to your wife, if you don't mind.
It's impossible. As I told you, my wife is very ill. Thank you, and good luck with the investigation.
Qué cortante, ¿no?
Eh bien, the good count does not appear to want me to talk to
Eso
his
parece.
wife.
Eso parece. ¿Qué tenemos aquí?
Madame Hubbard, may I ask you a question or two? It won't take long.
Anything I can do to help?
Have you misplaced a handkerchief recently?
No, I don't think so. Why?
We found a handkerchief embroidered with the letter H, so I thought it might have been yours.
I'm sorry, but it's not. It may belong to Miss Schmidt, Princess Dragomirov's lady's maid. I believe her first name is Hildegard.
It is a possibility. Anyone could be lying, of
Vale.
course. I thank you, madame.
Ok. Buena habitación, ¿eh? Así se viaja el tren, pero vamos, de lujo. Vale. 203 nada, 202 si no recuerdo mal es la nuestra. Vale. ¿Qué ha pasado? Se había quedado todo bugueado. 201.
Hello. Can I do something for you?
Hello, Monsieur Hardman.
Hardman.
I believe. You have heard of the murder?
Cyrus Hartman. Yes, and the fact that there's been a murder is all over the train.
You do not seem very concerned about it, monsieur.
It's not the first murder I've run across.
I had no idea the selling of toys was so dangerous. I did overhear you mention at dinner that this is your profession.
Toy salesman is a cover. I'm a private detective, just like you, from the U.S.
What? ¿30? ¿55? ¿No? Pinta más, ¿no? Sí. Vale.
That's the right answer.
Detective privado.
I did not expect to find another detective on this train.
I just finished a job in Istanbul when I received an email from Ratchet. He hired me to protect him.
Something you failed to do.
I'm not happy about that. He'd received some threatening letters. I was supposed to watch his back, and yeah, something I failed to do. But he seemed to think he was in more danger when he left the train.
He was traveling to Paris?
I assume so, but I'm not entirely sure.
Can anyone on this train confirm your identity?
Yeah, that McQueen kid. Ratchet's secretary.
Vale, el señor McQueen.
Were you on duty last night?
You bet. I kept my door open a crack and I watched all night. No one entered that car who didn't belong there.
Did you see anything in particular?
The conductor, Michelle. He was there most of the time, too, except for 15 minutes or so after we left Vinkovsky. He must have answered a call from Ratchet's room. Then he was absent again for a while around 1 a.m. After that, he didn't move until 5.
Monsieur Hardman, have you heard of the Armstrong case?
Armstrong? The kidnapping 3 or 4 years ago? Who hasn't? Why?
Ratchet's real name was Cassetti. I have reason to believe he was the kidnapper.
What? He killed that little girl? No, I didn't know. If I had known, I wouldn't have taken the job.
Monsieur Hardman.
Hey, perdón.
I have reason to...
What? If I had known...
Do you have any idea who was behind the threatening letters?
I don't know his name, but Ratchet told me he was a small man. Dark hair, with a womanish kind of voice.
Oh, thank you for your help. Is this handkerchief embroidered with an H yours?
Do I look like the kind of guy who would use a handkerchief like that?
Me intuía yo ya la respuesta, ¿eh, familia?
Thank you for answering my questions, Monsieur Hardman.
Vale.
Listen, Poirot. I know I fell down on the job, but if you need help, any at all, let me know. I'd like to make it right.
Vale. Perfecto. Más cositas. No sé qué pasa. Que tiene como un pequeño... Se queda como parado cuando salimos de aquí de la... Mira, mira, es aquí, ¿eh? ¡Oh, oh! ¡Qué paranoia! Vale. Seguimos. ¿Tenemos cositas nuevas? Vale, el conde Andreni es muy protector de su esposa, pero debe encontrar una manera de interrogar a la condesa Andreni. Vale. Vale. Vale, la condesa... La condesa hay que hacer algo con la condesa. Vale.
I am not prepared to receive anyone. Come back later.
Very well, madam. I'll come back later. But you will need to speak to me.
Vale.
So, my friend, have you finished your investigation?
No, but I have managed to solve a few mysteries.
Okay. I stay here to watch this young lady.
Contigo quería yo hablar.
Excuse me, Doctor. May I ask you a question?
Anything that can help the investigation, Mr. Poirot.
I wanted to know what your first name is, Doctor.
My name is Robert. Why?
To find out if the handkerchief embroidered with an H could have been yours.
I'm a doctor, Mr. Poirot. Cloth handkerchiefs are a playground for viruses. I would not touch one.
Vale. Vale, con esta nada. Bien, todos. ¿Qué tenemos aquí? The Call of the Wheel. Me gusta la caza este.
Ah, Monsieur McQueen, may I ask you a question?
Anything I can do to help, Mr. Poirot?
This handkerchief embroidered with an H. Is it yours?
No, I don't use cloth handkerchiefs.
Es que debe de ser una mujer, vamos. Me supongo, me figuro.
Thank you. I won't bother you anymore.
Vale. ¿Qué más nos quedaría? 101. Y nada más, ¿no? Vale. ¿Qué nos queda, familia? Nos queda un pasajero. Que sería la que no quiere hablar con nosotros. La Hubbard, ¿no? Y aquí la condesa Andreni. Vale, pues hay que hablar con la condesa, ¿eh? Vale, ¿cómo lo vamos a hacer? Pues ahora veremos, a ver cómo lo hacemos.
So,
no.
Okay.
Vale. Esta no va a querer hablar. Vale, esta no quiere hablar.
I am not prepared.
Vale, que no estás preparada, ¿no? ¡No! ¡No me jodas! Oh. No puedo darle tan rápido.
I am not.
Very well, madam. I'll come.
Vale. Vámonos. Vale, hay que hablar con este tío. Vale, aquí ya habíamos hablado con... Vale, este lo tenemos aquí. Este ya hemos hablado. Joder, se queda aquí bugueado, tío, ¿por qué? 202 en la nuestra. Aquí teníamos a a esta que es Olson. O Hubbard, no sé. Vale. Convence al conde Andreni. Pide ayuda al conde Andreni. Pídele hablar con ella. A ver,
Monsieur,
ayuda.
if I am to catch this murderer, I will need your help.
My help? I am at your service, Poirot.
You are obviously a devoted husband, Count Andreni.
My wife means the world to me. There were questions in Budapest about a Hungarian diplomat marrying an American woman.
It did not deter you.
I would have given up my position for her. I would think it is universal. Are you married, Mr. Poirot?
No, I fear marriage is not for me. But her condition, is it very grave?
She is suffering a bout of vertigo. You understand? The room spins.
I think Dr. Constantine could help your wife.
There is a doctor on this train?
Claro.
I did not know. Where is this doctor?
Debería ir a verle. Convence al conde.
I think Dr. Constantine is in the lounge car. If not, perhaps the conductor can tell you where he is.
Very well. I will find him. Thank you very much.
Vale. ¿Listo, no? A ver qué le pasa.
Forgive me for intruding, madame. I am Hércules Poirot.
I know who you are, Mr. Poirot. I overheard you send my husband on a wild goose chase.
Your husband cares for you greatly, madame. I apologize for exploiting that fact. But the situation is urgent, and I need to ask you a few questions.
Apology accepted. I realize you must speak to everyone. This horrendous murder. It's very upsetting.
That is a beautiful music box.
Please don't touch the music box. It's a fragile family heirloom.
Your accent, is it American? Boston, perhaps?
You have a good ear, Mr. Poirot. Yes. Born and raised in what we call the Back Bay.
Are you in the diplomatic service like your husband?
No, not officially. I was still in college when I met Rudy 2 years ago. I keep myself busy handling his scheduling, travel, appointments.
Ah, what is the saying? Behind every great man there is a great woman.
That was the saying. Today one might reverse the sentiment as well, don't you think?
Of course, I stand corrected.
Vale, española no es americana. Diplomática, diseñadora sin profesión, no, porque es la que le da las citas, ¿no? 21. Vale.
Voilà.
Voilà. Vale.
A handkerchief embroidered with an H was found at the crime scene. By any chance, does your first name begin with an H?
No, my first name is Elena, with an E.
Vale, coartada.
Can you tell me what you did last night?
Well, my husband and I went to dinner. Then we came back here. We went to bed around 10 o'clock. I tried to sleep, but I couldn't, because of the shaking of the train. I suffer from vertigo. I finally took a sleeping pill, and that did the trick.
When did the train's motion prevent you from sleeping?
Between midnight and 2 a.m. I know because I must have looked at my watch about 10 times.
I see.
El marido no ha dicho lo mismo, ¿no? Mi esposo y yo fuimos a cenar, luego volvimos a nuestra habitación a las 10 y estábamos ya en la cama. Entre medianoche está.
Calm now, Countess. You are not telling me the truth.
Why do you say that?
Tranquilizantes, enfermedad.
And your vertigo, did this not prevent you from sleeping?
It certainly didn't help, but that's not really why I couldn't sleep. It was that continual shaking of the train.
So she continues to blame the shaking of the train. The train stopped at 12:30 a.m. due to snow.
Exactamente.
So there was no shaking.
Es esa.
But you told me that it was the shaking that prevented
Aquí todo el mundo
you
miente,
from
tío.
sleeping.
I don't know, you're confusing me.
Ay, su vértigo, dice.
A man died last night. You can't talk nonsense just because you're sick. You are hiding something from me.
How dare you? I didn't do anything wrong. I'm going to find my husband.
Bo, qué mosqueo, qué rebote, ¿no? Se ha cogido.
That was unkind, I know, but my strategy
Pero ha
worked. I
funcionado.
can now inspect this room in peace.
Vale, inspeccionamos la habitación, familia. Nos ha venido como anillo al dedo, ¿verdad? Vale. Buenas joyitas, ¿eh? Vale, ¿qué tenemos aquí? Parma Sleep.
These must be the sleeping pills that Countess Andreni took last night.
Vale.
There seems to be something missing here. It's closed.
A ver. Pájaro. La rosa. Sí, pero esto es lo que lo tengo yo, a ver. No, no. No. Vale, entonces pondremos esta. No. Ahora. Vale. Manivela. Recogemos. Volvemos. Salimos. Y venimos para aquí, locos. Vale. ¿No? Vale. ¡Oh! ¿Qué? Ah. ¿No? Ahora. Vale. ¿Qué tenemos aquí?
An engraving written in, I believe, Russian Cyrillic. It looks like a
Y con
first
H.
name.
Y con H, ¿no?
An engraving written.
Vale.
For my beautiful young lady,
Elena y Sonia. Elena con
Helena
H.
and Sonia. Helena with an H. It's Countess Andreni with an older girl.
Poirot! Have you no shame?
Oh, nos ha cazado. Oh, oh.
Monsieur, I am afraid shame is not a very helpful emotion for a detective trying to get...
What are you doing in our compartment?
I am investigating a murder, Count Andreni.
My wife is ill.
My apologies, monsieur, but your wife seemed in perfect health when she left the room to find you. I do apologize, but I needed to search your compartment.
You will regret this, Poirot.
Please, Count. You aren't going to challenge me to a duel, are you? Countess, I'm afraid I took the liberty of inspecting your little music box.
How dare you?
The message in the medallion was addressed to you and Sonia. Sonia Armstrong. Your older sister?
La madre de
The
Daisy.
mother of Daisy, the murdered child.
La niña asesinada.
I am a Hungarian diplomat. You have no official standing here. You have no right to search.
No, Rudolph. Let me speak. It's useless to deny what this gentleman says. I am Helena Goldenberg, the sister of Sonia Armstrong, and Daisy was my niece. The music box is a gift from my sister's godmother, a very close friend to my mother. We hid the truth from you when we learned that the man killed last night was the person who destroyed my family. I panicked. I didn't want to be accused.
That is also why you lied about the H in your first name?
Exactly. Your ferreting about looking for the H is obviously part of your investigation.
If I found a handkerchief in Monsieur Ratchet's room embroidered with an H, I might suspect you had been there.
A handkerchief? I don't have any handkerchiefs embroidered with my initial. To be honest, that sounds awfully old-fashioned to me.
I give you my word of honor that last night, Helena never left her compartment. My wife is telling you the truth, Poirot.
I hope so. I'll let you rest.
Vale. Ya hemos descubierto.
The matter of the H on the handkerchief still needs clearing up. But first, I should check the inscription on the back of the medallion.
La inscripción en la parte de detrás del medallón. Vale. Buah. Vete tú a saber. A ver, es una H, ¿no? A ver. Es esta, ¿no? H, una A, una T, una A. Esta, ¿no? Si no me equivoco. A ver. Vale, esta va a ser la otra. Esa va a ser la L. Es Natalia.
No, no, no.
¿Cómo que no?
Not good.
¿Cómo que no? Ah, no. Esta no es la A. ¿Natalia?
Natalia. Would it be
Natalia
Dragomirov?
Dragomirov.
He is the only Russian passenger on the train. In addition, her first name begins with an H.
Empieza con la H.
My little gray cells.
Vale. La princesa Dragomirov es la madrina de Daisy, familia. Vale. Vale. Lo tenemos todo de momento, ok. Vale, ¿dónde deberíamos de ir ahora? Hay una persona con la que no... Es que no nos dice ahora nada. La princesa Dragomirov. Vale, ¿y dónde está la princesa Dragomirov? Vale. ¿Dónde tenemos a la princesa Dragomirov? A ver. Natalia. Esta, la 107, la que no nos quería abrir. Vámonos. Que nos va a abrir ahora. Vale. Aquí. Ahora sí. Nos tienes que abrir.
I am not prepared to receive anyone. Come back later.
Very well, madam. I'll come back later.
Entonces,
But you will need to speak to me.
a ver.
So, my friend.
No, but...
Okay.
Vale, ¿qué cojones nos falta ahora? Nos queda un pasajero. Mori, Madame Hubbard, Monsieur McKee, Monsieur Harman, Fraulein Smith y el Dr. Constantin. Vale. Pues nos queda solo una, tío. Aquí no puedo, aquí tampoco.
I hope your investigation is going well.
Aquí tenemos a este, que nada. Vale, familia, vamos a ir dejando por aquí el capítulo de hoy, ¿vale, familia? Bueno, no, es que me gustaría... A ver. A ver, vamos a ver. Vale, esta tía, ¿dónde está? Habitación 204. Vale, pero con esta ya hemos hablado. Habitación 105 y la 104 y 204, si es que esas las tenemos ya, si no me equivoco. Porque todo esto ya lo hemos hecho. Con esta mujer hemos hablado ya. Pues exactamente, aquí ya no nos deja. Vale, aquí.
Did you need something else, Monsieur Poirot?
Sí. El pañuelo.
Have you lost a handkerchief embroidered with an H, madame?
Oh, no, monsieur.
I thought perhaps since your first name is Hildegard.
It is not mine, I tell you. I could not afford something so nice. I have no idea who it belongs to.
My apologies, I did not mean to alarm you.
Vale, hemos interrogado a todos los sospechosos, ¿vale? Que empiezan por H. Habla con la señora Dragomirov. Venga, vamos a hablar con ella. Que ahora ya sí que nos van a dejar hablar. Por aquí, ¿no? Vámonos. Vámonos. Oh, tío, se queda aquí parado, tío. No sé por qué, familia. Se queda como frenado. Pequeño bug del juego. Pero ha sido a raíz de ahora, ¿eh? No sé por qué, ¿eh? Sinceramente. Venga, Dragomirov, que vas a tener que contestarme unas preguntitas.
I am not prepared to receive anyone. Come back later.
I'm sorry, madame, but a man has been murdered. I must ask you a few questions.
You must have misunderstood me. I cannot speak to you just now.
Madame, I know that Sonia Armstrong is your goddaughter.
Ahora cómo la abres.
Come in, please.
Ahora sí, ¿no? Ahora sí te interesa, ¿no?
Please forgive my intrusion, madame, but I really must ask you some questions.
Then ask. I'll answer if it pleases me.
We have not been properly introduced, yet I have observed her a couple of times, so I can already deduce some things about her.
Rusa. Pues no lo sé, tío, de dónde es esta. ¿Qué es? Directora de ópera, no tengo ni puta idea, ¿eh? No. Vale, museo. Vale.
That was easy.
Easy.
I will first ask you about last night.
Disculpad, por la tos.
Tell me your movements.
I went to bed just after dinner. I read until 11, then tried to sleep. Later I woke.
What caused you to awaken?
I suffered from back pain, a consequence of old age interfering with an active life. I called Schmidt around 12:45 a.m. to give me a massage. She did so until I fell asleep.
How long was she with you?
A good hour, I would say.
I see. The first initial of your first name, Natalia, in the Cyrillic alphabet looks exactly like the letter H in the Latin alphabet.
I'm Russian, Monsieur Poirot, and I was the head of a museum of antiquities in St. Petersburg for decades, until I moved to Berlin recently. I'm familiar with Cyrillic.
This handkerchief is yours, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. I lost it.
It was found in Monsieur Ratchet's room. Can you explain to me why Madame Schmidt didn't identify the handkerchief? She must have known it was yours.
Possibly to protect me. She is very loyal. Your next question will be, how did my handkerchief come to be lying by a murdered man's body? My reply to that is that I have no idea.
That is not an answer, madame.
It is all I am able to give you.
I must tell you, Princess Dragomirov, I have discovered something astonishing.
And that is?
You are Sonia Armstrong's godmother.
You make that sound like a revelation. I have never hidden the fact, monsieur.
You knew Colonel Armstrong well, then?
I knew him slightly. But his wife, Sonia Armstrong, was my goddaughter. I was on terms of friendship with her mother, the actress Linda Arden. Linda Arden was a genius, one of the greatest tragic actresses in the world. I was not only an admirer of her art, I was a personal friend.
Very well. But this links you to the Armstrong kidnapping case. Helena Andreni is the sister of Sonia Armstrong, the late mother of Daisy Armstrong, kidnapped and killed by the man who was murdered on this train, Ratchet.
Indeed. Was it he? Then justice has at last been served.
Allow me to summarize.
Do I have a choice?
First coincidence, I shall call it. You are close to the Armstrong family, and the presumed assassin of Daisy Armstrong was killed while you were on board the same train. Second coincidence, your handkerchief happens to be found at the foot of the victim's bed. Third coincidence, one of the stab wounds inflicted on the body was by a left-handed person. You are left-handed. That is a lot of coincidences, Princess Dragomirov.
Well, Monsieur Poirot, call it fate. If you report to the police your coincidences, they will laugh. A woman of my age and frailty has violently murdered a man? With how many potential witnesses who saw me doddering along the corridor in the middle of the night like Lady Macbeth?
You are right, Princess. You could not work alone, which means you have one or more accomplices. And it is only a matter of time before I find out who they are.
I would appreciate it if you would remove yourself from my room and take your fantasies with you.
Vale, rastro completado. Corrobora las nuevas coartadas. ¿Qué personas tienen coartadas que coinciden con la de la señorita Smith, no? Foscarelli, Hartman. Uf, aquí es donde dudo.
No.
Vale. Esta sí que debería de ir aquí. Vale, así es.
That was easy.
Easy. Informa a Book. Vale, familia, pues tenemos que informar a Book. Que lo tenemos aquí, justamente.
Oh, Poirot, you're there. She hasn't moved, but she seems to be waking up little by little. What about you? Your investigation progresses?
I find myself helping everyone with their problems before
Descarado.
they can help me with mine. I have shifted boxes, helped with hangovers, repaired an orange juicer, unlocked some Russian dolls, all so my investigation can proceed.
No ponen de su
Don't
parte.
forget the dessert recipe.
How can I?
Truly, the labors of Hércules.
My friend, I would rather clean out the Orient stables. Yet, I have managed to solve a few mysteries.
Oh, tell me everything.
Vale, el pañuelo bordado.
The embroidered handkerchief belongs to Princess Dragomirov. I also found out that she was Sonia Armstrong's godmother.
On the same train with the little girl's murderer?
Exactly. Also, Elena Andreni is the younger sister of Sonia Armstrong, Daisy's mother.
Another passenger connected to the Armstrong case?
Yes, Book. What are the odds, do you think? But I cannot see either woman stabbing Ratchet over and over again in a frenzy. And they apparently have alibis. I had 3 theories concerning the broken watch. It could have been tampered with. It could have been out of adjustment before the murder. Or, of course, it could indicate the actual time of the murder. The only hypothesis I could rule out was that the watch was out of adjustment. For the others, they are impossible to verify. So the watch is of little use to the investigation.
And I was convinced that it indicated the time of the crime. 2 women involved in the Armstrong case.
Let us not forget our patient here. There are 3 women.
Look, she seems to be waking up.
What's happening to me? Did I fall asleep again?
Indeed, Mademoiselle Locke. Did you take any medication? Sleeping pills, for example?
No, I never use sleeping pills.
I inspected your cup. You can clearly see that there is a residue of something at the bottom. I'm sure a lab test would confirm you were drugged. Most likely an overdose. That would explain your battle to shake off the effects.
You think Fräulein Schmidt did it?
She certainly had the most opportunity, but why would she?
But no one knew who I was. It's impossible that someone deliberately targeted me.
Vale, han drogado a la señorita Locke. Mapa mental. Elige los 2 sospechosos más susceptibles de haber drogado a la señorita Locke. Pues una sería la señorita Smith. ¿No? Mierda, y Dragomirov, ¿no? Vale. No. Mierda. Ay. Dios. Vale, pues entonces debería de ser este.
Fräulein Schmidt or Monsieur Michel may have drugged the tea that Mademoiselle Locke
Claro, el revisor.
Fräulein Schmidt or Pierre Michel could have drugged your tea. They are really the only 2 people on this train who could have done it. But why would either one do it?
Mr. Poirot, I'm feeling much better. I'd like to bring you up to date to why I ended up on this train.
If you are able, I would very much like you to finish your story.
Very well then. After the Daisy Armstrong case was officially closed, I put out a standing request to the police departments in the Boston area for anything on Michael Clark. But he didn't turn up on their radar. I even set up an anonymous tip line for news about Clark. That's how I met Braid, a sketchy contact on the dark web, but they found nothing I could use.
Vale, familia, dejamos por aquí capítulo de hoy, ¿vale? Está la cosa súper emocionante. Madre mía, aquí la gente miente más que corre y corre como los galgos, familia. Y buenas descubriciones que hemos hecho, sobre todo la hermana de la madre. De la madre de Daisy y la madrina, ¿no? Vale. Familia, pues nada, a ver qué tenemos que seguir descubriendo, ¿no? El siguiente capítulo con Joanna Locke, ¿no, familia? Por lo dicho, como digo siempre, si os gusta, apoyadlo con un gran likeazo. Si no estáis suscritos, suscribiros no cuesta nada, es tan solo un clic y apoyáis a un servidor como yo y familia. Nos vemos en el siguiente vídeo. ¡Hasta luego!